Hi, my name is Rachel. I decided to do my paper on the Native American culture, and since there are 573 recognized tribes, I decided to narrow down my research to the Choctaw. I chose the Choctaw because of Choctaw Nation in Oklahoma. Now, although Choctaw Nation does have their own healthcare facilities, clinics, and such, with doctors and nurses, it's important to realize that some Choctaw do not live at Choctaw Nation. They live in other places, for example, Paris. So, whether you are a nurse at Choctaw Nation or anywhere else, it's important to know the Choctaw culture, the Native American culture. Each tribe of the Native Americans do have their own differences inside of their tribes. For the most part, they are spiritual people. So it's important to get to know each person individually, have an overall knowledge of the culture, but like I said, be able to talk to the person individually and see and know what their wants and needs and are. So for the Choctaw, communication, direct eye contact shouldn't be for long periods of time. For us, we have the direct eye contact when we're talking to each other. That shows that we're listening, we're paying attention. But for the Choctaw, it could be intimidating and unsettling. And that is because the Choctaw feel that the direct eye contact for long periods of time when talking is meant for people who really truly know each other, like family. So when we're talking to them, it's important, make that eye contact, but make it for short periods of time. Don't hold it like we do. Give a quick, eye contact for a minute and then look away. That way it makes them feel more comfortable. Also, they are spiritual people. So they may have some sacred items that they want to keep with them. And if it's possible, allow them to have those by their bedside. It could be a sacred stone, a feather, something that is close to them that they feel is important to them. And it's important to us to accommodate them whenever possible. Also, they may want a healing ritual done along with the medical treatment. They do not oppose medical treatment, but healing rituals are something that many of them want because they believe in the fact that your body and your soul and your mind should all be taken care of, not just that medical problem. For an example, not just the broken arm. If they came in with a broken arm, yes, they would want their arm fixed and taken care of, but they also might want that healing ritual done for their soul, for their mind, because they feel when something bad happens, their spirit, their mind, their body has become out of line. So they need healing not only for that ailment, the broken arm, but for their spirit, for their mind. So it can be healed as one. So it's important to ask them as individuals, as well as the knowledge of their culture, on the things that would make them more comfortable. Is there anyone that we can call for them to bring anything to them or to come in for them? Also, many Choctaw could be Jehovah's Witnesses. And Jehovah's Witnesses, as we know, do not accept blood transfusions. So it's important to be asking them about their belief in receiving blood transfusions. As far as food, they're the same as us. There's not really anything that they don't allow themselves or their culture to eat. Food is a big part of celebration for them. birth, marriage, and even death. They get together and they celebrate and they make their foods. There are certain recipes and such that they use for funerals and for births and for marriages. But as being in the hospital, it's not really an issue unless they're like a diabetic. Then they would need, to specialize their diet for their glucose levels. So for the Choctaw, it's just important to be considerate of their spiritual needs, and know that some of the elders may want some of their younger members to be there with them to support them and to also help them with any medical terms, especially if they lived on the reservation for quite a long time. Maybe they haven't really dealt with many nurses and doctors. So it's important that they need someone there to help them to know what you're talking about and what you mean. So again, that goes back to the individual. Know the culture, but also know them as what they want and what they need. So I really enjoyed learning about the Choctaw culture, and it seems like a lot of the Native American tribes do hold a lot of the same beliefs. So definitely we should keep in mind the direct eye contact and making sure that we are sensitive to their spiritual needs as well as their medical needs. Another thing that I found was that the Choctaw are modest. They do want to be covered as much as possible when getting, say, a physical assessment and such. Some still do wear their traditional outfits, clothing that they've made, but a lot do wear the same things that we wear. But when giving physical assessments and such, it's important for them to be covered up as much as possible. So it's important for us to make them feel secure and keep their modesty. Other than that, I think that pretty much does it. They're a very interesting culture. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.